And then I go to prison, and first time walking the yard, I remember like a nobody. And it's like, holy shit, how am I going to do this whole time? Like, I remember the first walking back from chow, and it's like, even in school, like I was the most popular kid there, and I'm like walking back from chow, like no one noticed I'm here, and I'm just like, how am I going to do this? Not to mention, I'm like a little kid from Ahwatukee, and these dudes are like twice my size.
Yeah.
They all have like tattoos over their faces, like straight
Yeah.
gangbangers. Most of their parents are gangbangers,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, what in the hell am I doing here? And
What was the first thing you did?
first thing I did, honestly, you just sit there and like kind of watch TV and just like, you just watch a little 12-inch TV, and then I ended up whooping the dude running my building like the first couple weeks in there.
You gotta.
Got into a fight with the dude running my building, and it's so when you get there, they run the whole rules down to you, and he tells you, he's like,
Yeah.
this and all that, and he's like, do you know why they call it a sucker punch?
No.
Because you're the sucker if you get punched.
Oh.
So he's like, so if anybody pops off on you or argues with you or anything like that, you just take off on them. And I'm like, we can do that? He's like, yeah, this is prison. I'm like, and this is like, now I'm getting the rules for the next 12 years of my life. I'm just like, dude, this is no joke, man.
Yeah.
But luckily I did used to box, so it kind of saved my life in there. Because I was a little pretty boy, so they thought they could like punk me and like, talk crap to me, and that's what the dude running my building did.
Yeah.
And I was like 160 pounds back then. Like, I'll show you pictures afterwards. I didn't even look like the same person, and beat the brakes off this dude. And then the next day they come out, and now it's like all the OGs that like didn't know me. Now they heard what's going on. So now they're literally waiting outside my building to shake my hand and say like, what's up, youngster? And like learn, find out what my plans
So
are.
it's true, if you go at somebody, it gives you street cred, I guess?
Absolutely.
So you basically have to do that?
Well, you don't have to be, you're just gonna be a lame and no one's gonna respect you or know what you are. But you can, like, people always ask, like, could you be a lame and do nothing? Yes, you can, but no one's gonna respect you. And if you need some help on something, no one's gonna help you or protect you on anything like that. But you absolutely can if you want to. The only thing you have to do is you have to like get involved if there's a riot or something like that. But other than that, you don't have to put in work. You could read the Bible and go to church and do whatever you want.
You have to get involved if there's a riot?
You absolutely have to, yeah.
Why?
You just have to, because we need as much people as we can get.
What would be the situation? I'm so innocent over here. Why would there be a riot?
Oh, drug deaths all the time. It happens all the time, yeah.
And then everybody just...
Like the second to last yard I was on, like a year and a half before I got home, and this was a 3-yard, which is, there's still lifers there, but it's like the lowest I could go.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was literally over like a cheap store that like someone owed some commissary money, like food money, and they end up, the blacks and the Mexicans, like stabbing each other up, like stabbing each other over this, right on the run in front of the cops.
So what happens if you don't get involved?
Then your people will do that to you right after the riot's done.
Crazy.
Yeah, so like if we have like if there's a run and there's a riot on there, and then there's like one white kid that doesn't get involved, the second this all goes down, like he's done with.
Wow.
By us, our own people, yeah, we do it. Get rid of him. You know why? Because we're going to get rid of him so that that bed can be open for someone else that will back us up next time.
What do you mean get rid of him?
Like smash him and send him to the hospital, and then he goes wherever he wants after that.
Okay.
Seriously. Like he goes to protective custody, protective segregation after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you got beat up so bad. Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. Yeah. That's some angry, like, people, right?
And yeah, and that's how I lived like the next 12 years of my life. Like I was the angriest dude on earth. Like I was. And then by the time I was 23 years old, luckily I always say, like, luckily I hit puberty finally. Like just no joke, got facial hair and started running stuff. And so I was 23 years old was when I ran my first yard. And this was
what does that mean?
Like so there's a shot caller for each race on each yard, which means like I was the dude in charge of everything. Like calling shots on people. Like when people bring drugs in, they have to give you 25% of the drugs, and you have to sell it. And like it's crazy. Like you literally have to sell it and then make money, and then you send it to literally the Aryan Brotherhood, who are locked down in Supermax. It's crazy. But it's a whole, not only like people always ask like about running yards, like it's not just being tough, because everybody's tough on those yards. It's like being an entrepreneur too. You have to like make money and hustle, and like it's like a full-on business in there as well.
So hold on real quick. At what point did you start getting big, like getting in shape?
22, 23 years old.
So from 18 you hadn't lifted yet and done any of that?
No, 160 pounds-ish, yeah.
Wow. I feel like that would have been the first thing. Give me the weights.
I never even worked out in my life though. Like I was like a scrawny, like baseball player. And I played volleyball growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, I don't work out. But when you get to prison, you have to. So like even in the county jail, I did 2 years. I did push-ups every now and then, but I did nothing. And then when you get to join those mandatory workouts, mandatory rec, like you have to.
That's good. You guys need to get your
same thing there too. Like if you don't go out to rec, you're not going to work out. Like they'll smash you off the yard for that too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Just so you can handle yourself or take the beating.
Yes.
So you were there with all kinds of criminals.
Absolutely.
Are the stories true that you hear, like, about certain people that get targeted based on their crimes that have got them there?
With bad crimes?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like
Absolutely.
against children in particular?
Absolutely. That's why I almost didn't come home. Yeah. Like I was in my last 11 months, I was in Supermax under investigation for an attempted murder.
Because they
almost killed this guy.
Yeah.
Slit his throat ear to ear, stabbed his eyes out, right on the yard in front of 36
Peter.
people.
So now looking back at that,
I'm not saying I did that, but I was running the yard, so they got me supposed to call the shot.
okay. I was going to say, how do you feel about that now?
I don't mean to be brutal about this, but I'm no joke. If, like sex crimes, all that stuff, like the only cure for what they have is to kill them. And I've given this, it's not even their fault. They're chemically wired wrong. There's no fix for what they have. No fix.
Okay, yeah. What about, I don't know how you feel about this, but like when I see people, and I think anybody that can harm a child is like a demon possessed.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. Like,
which is,
how
like I
can you
said,
do
like
that?
with these people. So when we're doing this, people, they're not good people. Like
Yeah.
it's a dude that you don't want on the
Yeah.
streets. Like we used to make the joke, like we did the streets a favor by getting rid of that guy.
Yeah.
He's never going to be a good human being. He's always going to be a danger.
Yeah.
He's never going to be good around kids. It's like literally puts our kids and your mom, my mom at danger. Like people like that, there's no cure for them. But that's it. Other than that, anybody can change besides that.
Yeah. So 12 years.
Killers, I'm serious. I've seen full-on murderers. They're like great people. Just people with sex crimes are just different. There's something chemically wrong in their head.
Yeah.
Because I always try to use this analogy. Like people in prison, like if they're doing illegal stuff and hustling, it's to make money, to make a living. You know what I'm saying? It's like they need it to get by. Like sex crimes are the only people, like you don't get anything out of it except 10 seconds of whatever they're getting out of pleasure, I guess, or something like that. Like you get, and not only that, like we're risking for burglaries like a few years of your sentence. Like imagine risking your entire life for 10 seconds of what you call fun while you're torturing somebody.
Yeah.
It's the sickest thing on earth. It's the
It
sickest
is.
thing on earth. And it drives me nuts. And I try not to think about it now because I have kids now, but I'm like paranoid. And so that's why I told you before, like I want to just build a compound and like have my kids away from everybody.
Yeah.
Like I am paranoid about it. And I've seen those people, they do exist. And 100%.
So 12 years.
I served 11 years and 10 months straight. I went in at 18. I got out a month after I turned 30 years old.
Wow.
What was it like getting out?
I'll show you the video after this. It was crazy. Like, and that's the other thing too.
When your mom picked you up?
Yeah, I got out from Supermax. So like I was walking in 5-point shackles even to my release cage.
Wow.
So it was your mom and your brother, right?
My mom, my brother, and my dad, and then my brother's wife, yeah. And then what's funny is I'll show you this afterwards, but you sit there and so I'm like changing. I asked my dad, I'm like, hey, can I do this? Can I do this? He's like, you can do whatever you want, not Pete. And I'm like, I remember sitting there, I'm like, holy shit, I cannot. I actually did that. I'm like, and you know what's funny is I always wanted to listen to Tom Petty Free Falling when I got out. Like that was just, I was an 80s kid. My dad grew up listening to 80s music and stuff, yeah. So that was just my dream. I was just want to listen and blast it. And so we go to the gas station right there. I remember like it was actually spent $37 on energy drinks, candy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I didn't even see an energy drink. Like, you know, like Red Bull and stuff wasn't out when I went away. Like there was no Bluetooth, no.
What year was this when you got
03
out?
to 15.
Okay.
So like Nokia phones with Snake is what I had, you know? And then get down to iPhones.
In fact, I remember just barely high school kids were getting cell phones, but they're all the Nokia.
I had in maximum security, you can't even have CDs. I was still using cassette tapes when I got out. Cassettes. So.
Wow. You had a Walkman?
Yeah. Clear Walkman, yeah. So $37 at the gas station. Go to get on the freeway, start heading home, put the music on. What do you think's on the radio?
Free Falling.
Tom Petty Free Falling.
way.
First thing that goes on the radio.
That's
And I
sick.
start crying. I'm like, you are kidding me. And I remember, it's so crazy, but like right then I remember like thinking I was like thinking, holy shit, maybe this is the time that the luck finally turns around for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I want to hear because I always said like I had, 12 years or 30 years of just the worst luck, the worst life. I hated my life, like, and I was still so mad that I never did anything with sports, like I watched the dudes that I was better at on TV and I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm sitting here with nothing to look forward to.
Do you love your life now?
And I cry multiple times every single day.
I can't wait to hear
Multiple times every single
the
day.
trigger now. What turned everything?
I had, so yeah, when I got out of prison, so think about this. I never worked a day in my life, never been to a bar, never been on a date, never done anything. And I'm 30 years old, like this big prison shock. And I got out at 6'4", 264 pounds. So I was 40 pounds bigger than this. I was just huge. And
muscle.
Say it again, 6'4" or what?
264.
Wow.
I'm 220 right now. Wow. Yeah, I was wearing 3X shirts.
So you went in 6 foot 145?
6 foot 144, and I got out 6'4", 264.
Wow.
And so then I get out, and I go party every day.
Yeah.
That's all I want to go do. You know, I want to pull chicks and
Yeah.
do that stuff, you know? And I did it. And my problem there was like, I knew I had a drug problem, but I didn't know, like, I thought I was going to have trouble with alcohol, but I was like, did I need to go drink and still at least have some fun with it for a little bit? So that was my thought. I was going to go have fun for a little bit and then try and figure it out after that. And then, you know, when I would say this, like, I'm cool until I'm blacked out drunk, then I'll fight, I'll do drugs if they're in front of me. And I had a fentanyl overdose, and it was just like the craziest thing ever. But it was like, I had so I was drinking at a bar one day at Hobnob, just a buddy's bar in the afternoon time. And think about this, that's after 2 years in the county jail. So that's 25 pounds more than what I was when I weighed. But that's like 21, 22. That's how as big as I was right there.
I don't know if we can show that on there. It's too small.
Thank you for watching the episode. You know, our podcast is called The Real Deal, where real estate meets real life. And I love sharing these real life stories, but we are also in the real estate business. And so if you have any real estate needs, maybe you're thinking about buying or selling or wanting to invest in real estate, we would love to help you.
So we go partying and I wake up in an ambulance. And I had to go back to my phone afterwards to find out what happened. I remember I told the paramedics, and I remember right when I woke up in the ambulance, I was like thinking, I did it again. Like, seriously, like what? I didn't even, right when I woke up and I knew I was in an ambulance, I remember I didn't even turn to the guy first. I remember just thinking like, God only knows what I did now. I'm such a fucking loser. Like, why can't I have just died? Like, what? I was just done living. And then I turned to the paramedic and I'm like, what the hell happened to me today? He's like, you overdosed. I was like, I don't use drugs anymore. He's like, you did today? I was like, I don't remember. I was like, we're drinking at the bar for my buddy's birthday. I don't remember anything. I'm like, how the hell did I go use an overdose? I kind of barely remember the rest of the ride to the hospital.